Alright, everybody. It's a little dark in here, but I think you can see me alright. I want to go over this card tonight because, everybody that knows me and knows we're watching my videos for a while knows that these cards that look like they're going to be lackluster cards are a lot of times my favorite because a lot of times they're the ones that produce. When you got a card full of guys that already got their mansions and their money and their 15 cars in the driveway and their custom-made automobiles, and I could go on forever. When you got guys that have all that, a card full of guys that are already getting their payday, and not all those guys come to fight. They come for money. They come for their payday. They don't always give us the best fights, and like they're getting paid to do. Maybe they have in the past, and that's what's earned them their money. Some are, some aren't. But anymore, 9 times out of 10, these cards that people think are going to be lackluster end up being the most entertaining cards, and it's happening more and more here lately than it even did in the past. It's happening, almost every one of these cards that people don't even really much care to watch ends up being the best cards, and your ones that it draws all this attention. Like look at Diaz and Condit. Look at how much shit we had to listen to watch that fucking fight. And look at this little bitty old UFC on Fuel TV 1. They had to give it away free and give Fuel TV to people free all week to get them to watch it. And this turns out to be an awesome card, man. A lot of action tonight. There was 1 or 2 fights that were a little lackluster, but overall it's damn good. Tim Means stuffing takedowns all night. Unanimous decision over Magalhaes. Tim Means probably get somebody tougher after that fight. Justin Salas pretty much controlled the whole fight against Kuvanen, and that was a lackluster fight, to be honest. But Salas pulled it out, got some good takedowns, and that's what won him the fight, pointed him out. Sucks Leffler and Roberts didn't fight because I really think Roberts could have got Leffler, but they did get paid. They had to call the fight like they scratched the fight right before it was getting ready to happen. I'm not sure exactly what. He was warming up, and he injured his ankle and wasn't cleared to compete. And obviously, if anybody saw it on the TV, his ankle was fucked. It was swollen bad. Brookins made quick work of Rocha. Rocha landed a couple nice combinations to the body, went for some kind of crazy takedown. Brookins just mauls him down like in the mount, and then Rocha gets his legs up under him, and Brookins hits him with 2 or 3 hooks and just knocked him out cold, left him laying cold in the middle of the ring. He might have been the only guy that knocked out cold all night. Can't remember here. We'll see as I go through them. Menjivar subs Albert in the first round, but man, that was a barn burner. That was a hell of a fight. And man, John Albert almost finished Ivan Menjivar. John Albert definitely getting another decent fight. His next fight for sure. Good showing. Tried like 10 subs and pounded the shit out of Menjivar before he got subbed himself. So that was nice. Dillashaw just manhandled Watson for 3 rounds, and then I believe he subbed him, if I'm not mistaken. I think he rear naked choked him. I'm not gonna look in there to see, but it was an absolute manhandling. Made Watson look like a high school kid. Stipe Miocic knocked out DeFries in 43 seconds. Give this Stipe Miocic somebody tougher than DeFries, who was undefeated and did catch Miocic's jaw a couple times to kind of stumble him before he knocked DeFries out on himself. So I have to give DeFries credit. Hats off to Philip DeFries for bringing the fight, because he brought it, but he got knocked out. And they say it marks edge of Simpson in a via split decision, but man, really, Ronnie Marks beat the shit out of Aaron Simpson round 2 and 3. Simpson did not want anything to do with Mark's clinch. And towards the end of round 3 there, in round 3, I felt like he didn't even want anything, any team wouldn't even trade with him. Because, man, Marks just looked so much stronger than Simpson. And none of us expected that. We all thought Simpson would be stronger than Marks and be able to use the wrestling to dominate, and that wasn't the case. The first round, Simpson came out strong, had a big uppercut, knocked the shit out of Marks, and I thought he was going to finish the fight. Man, Marks is tough, man. Tough fucking dude. That dude needs to get somebody. He's going to get more of a top-tier fighter his next fight. My man Stephen Struve, second round TKO of Dave Herman. Kimbo White called it. I don't want to brag too much, but I called the win over Barry and the win over Herman, and my man Struve here is getting ready to be in line for somebody a little tougher, and I'm going to wait to see. I want to see who they're going to give him, man. I wish they'd come to Indianapolis and have him fight somebody on a card in Indy, man. I'd like to go see Struve fight. Really is one of my favorite fighters and really is underrated. Really just catches a lot of shit for 3 highlight reel knockouts against pretty much three of the best strikers in the heavyweight division for sure. Hands down. JDS, Roy Nelson, and Brown. Is it Travis Brown? Pretty sure. Yeah. So, and the Travis Brown thing, that was a stupid mistake. Everybody makes him the flying knee. He threw himself straight into a straight right punch, man. And, yeah, it's a highlight reel knockout. It looks real bad because he's so tall and it bends him backwards and shit when he gets knocked out. You know, and the JDS thing, you could argue was stopped early. Now, I'll agree JDS was going to finish him. I'll agree with that. But you could also argue that fight was stopped a little bit early. You could have let him pound him a couple more times to solidify the fact that he was out. Struve argued it. Of course, I know most of the time when you get knocked out, you don't even realize you got knocked out. People argue it all the time, so whoop the shit. But Struve's underrated, guys, and Struve's good. And I know he doesn't. I know even in this fight, he didn't use his reach like he should, but he was landing better combinations, and he was using his reach a little better than before. I saw him land more strikes at the end of his punches without being with his back against the cage. He tried to stay off that cage but still use his reach, and he did a little better job at it. He really did a little bit better job tonight with his stand-up and his reach. But still not the greatest in the world, but I personally did not think that he had to. Personally, I thought that as soon as Dave Herman got inside on him, that he would do. I expected him to do in the first round what he did in the second. Just grab a hold of that son of a bitch and throw him down and submit his ass, and that's what he did. But he didn't submit him. He finished it with strikes, man, and I wasn't even expecting that. But, alright, enough about Stephen Struve. Hats off to Struve. Then Ellenberger fending off a late charging Sanchez. Why are the Fuel TV main events not 5 rounds? If all main events are 5 rounds now, the Fox main events have been 5 rounds as far as I remember, I thought. I don't know why these weren't. I thought we had 2 more rounds coming and whatever. But, whatever. Ellenberger won. You know what I think? I think if Sanchez would have had a 4 and 5, we'd have a hell of a fucking fight on our hands. And I wish it would have been around 4 and 5 there. I really do. Really, really do, man. Diego Sanchez nearly finished Jake Ellenberger in the 3rd round. And Jake won the first 2, but Diego dominated the 3rd. But at the end of the 3rd, right at the end, Jake pulled out from a beatdown. Just pulls out, slides out from underneath Diego and stands up, and they just start trading. And I got so excited because I said, oh, yeah, look, they're trading at the end of the 3rd. We're going to have a good 4th. I was like, yeah, we got a good main event here. And then I see him holding Ellenberger up in the air, and I was like, fuck, man, the Fuel main events aren't 5 rounds? Man, Diego might have had that fight in a 5-round fight, guys. But hats off to Ellenberger for winning the first two and taking the fight. And you know, I just want to say that I lost 6 subs after that last prediction video, and I don't know if it was because I just shouted out my predictions and didn't give any insight, or if it was because of that Stefan Struve pick. But if it was because of the Stefan Struve pick, then whoever unsubbed must feel stupid now, because sometimes I'll make a crazy pick here and there, but you can ask anybody who's been watching my videos for a long time now that a lot of times Kimbo White's crazy picks come through, and that's because I've been watching fighting for a long time, man, and I just might see something in a fighter that y'all might not, and I'm that good at it, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but you know, I've been watching fighting for a long time, man, and the Stefan Struve pick was not if you picked Dave Herman, that was not a bad pick. That was not a bad pick, because Struve's stand-up has been shit. His reach, you know, him using the tools he has been non-existent, and I agree with everything everybody said. But I'm going to tell you where I got the Struve pick, guys. I saw in Dave Herman a reckless, wild, swinging guy who's fought a lot of guys who are not UFC material. Dave Herman has been fed quite a few cans. Go look at Dave Herman's record and go look at every guy he's fought, and it's a bunch of crap, really. He's fought a few tough guys, but he hasn't fought UFC level guys, and he hasn't fought anybody on Struve's level in his career. I don't think he has. He struggled with Inamo. And as much as I like Inamo's going nowhere in the UFC heavyweight division, guys. And to be honest with you, I'd like to see Dave Herman fight a few more guys in the heavyweight division. But, you know, he's never fought a guy. He's fought one guy that's as tall, that had the size of Struve. And I don't think the guy was 6'11", but the guy was a serious can. And as soon as he got mounted and got hit a couple times, he tapped the strikes. He wasn't even hurt. He just didn't want to get hit. And, you know, I just saw a guy in Dave Herman that has not fought UFC material, 1. 2, he gasses after the first round, always, in any of his fights. If he doesn't finish a guy in the first round, he gasses. 3, he's had motivation issues. Yeah, his corner had to tell him to get going and get it. You have to try harder against Dynamo. And 4, I saw a guy that swings wildly and has never had to get inside on a guy 6'11", which a lot of guys haven't had to fight a guy that tall, which is one of Struve's obvious. You know, whether he uses his reach or not, his height is still an advantage, because guys got to get in there and hit him. And when they do get in there and hit him, he's a badass at. Oh man, he's so tall and you guys don't think a lot of strength comes with that size. As soon as he clinches somebody, throws that leg trip on them, they're fucking done, man. He's top notch at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you know, he's got a good ground and pound too. Really, he's just underrated because of the 3 highlight reel knockouts. And I guess I'm just explaining to you where I got the Struve pick, so you don't think I just pulled it out of my ass, because I really do a lot of research on my fights whenever I make my picks, guys. And that was an educated pick, even though I can't, like I said, I can't tell you that picking Herman was bad. And don't think I wasn't sweating it a little bit, but I had faith in Struve. And my buddy that was sitting here with me had faith in Struve. We knew Struve could win, man. So y'all have a good night. It's been the last word with Kimbo White.